Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna. I'm so glad you're here today. I see my glasses are reflecting in the camera. We are going to be working again with some of this pattern paper that I just have loved. I made some cards. I made a short and I made some cards with this pattern paper already using Kinder's Card Challenge sketches. I've got the little sketch written on here. I've got 10, 9, and 14. So 9, 10, and 14 that I've already made. And I love this paper pattern so well that I've decided I'm going to make a few more cards with this. And then I'm going to make a box. And I'm going to make this a box set. So I'm just going to be bringing in some more of the sketches and building some more cards. So I hope you follow along. And if you haven't subscribed, if you just click that subscribe button below, I would really love to have you as a subscriber and would like to begin interacting with you as a member of my channel. So just click the subscribe button, follow along, and let's make some cards. Okay, so let's just get started. The card we're going to make right off the bat is going to be from Card Sketch 2. And I'm just bringing in that same pattern paper embossing folder, giving it a similar look so that this will look like a kit of cards, a matching set of cards, because I'm going to put them in a box and we're going to make a set of cards. So this particular card here is going to be a landscape card. So I'm just going to bring in and we're going to score at 4 1/4 and I'm going to get my card base ready. And I'm going to try to move fairly quickly so that it's not a real long video, but I do want to make some good cards. So what I've done is I've already pulled out one of my embossing folders, and this is the, I believe it's called Christmas wrap pattern from Spellbinders, and I've already embossed it. I'm using two embossing folders that are the same as what I've used there, the Christmas wrap and the Christmas tile. I will link them in the description box below so that you'll have those available. But to get started, we know our card's going to go this way based upon the sketch, and I chose this one because it's non-directional, so I can lay it either way. And to get it laid down, I'm just going to bring in my tape runner, and it'll make fast work, and it'll get a good stick on this embossed panel. So we'll just do that. A lot of times I like to use some foam tape to lay my embossed panels on, but because I'm going to box these, I want to keep the dimension down to a certain amount so that they'll all fit in my box. I'm unsure of how many I'm going to be able to fit into my box at this point anyway. So then this sketch calls for pattern paper A and pattern paper B, which are these, and then it also calls for a layered panel for each of these as well. So I'm just going to continue on with the tape runner because sometimes it's hard to get metallic to stick, or you at least have to be patient with it with your glue because it does take a minute. So I'm just going to try and use my tape runner and hopefully get these lined up fairly decent because usually you don't have a lot of room for wiggle with your tape dispenser, and so we'll go with that and do the same thing here and get it laid down. I just love this combination of papers. I made the first card like this on a short, and I was just crafting along with some friends watching their YouTube video and crafting along, and I just pulled these out and I thought it looked really, really pretty together. And so then I made a couple more, and then I had this idea of making a set. So that's what I'm doing here today. So now these are gonna lay on here kind of like this is how the sketch has it laying on here. So we'll just get our first one laid down and then lay the other one on top of it. And I'm just sticking with that good old tape runner. Okay, so I'm gonna lay it, let's see. I'm actually gonna turn it. I see a little dent in my paper there, so I'm gonna turn it and tuck that under. So I'm just gonna get this laid down. I think I like that placement right there. Now this one's directional, so I gotta be more specific on how I lay it down. I can't rotate it like I did the other one. And let me see, I might need it. I don't want to use that one. I might need a little piece of scrap to go underneath this corner here. So I've got some scrap, and I'm just going to cut this. And let's see, I'm going to get this how I want it. I think it's going to look like that. So I think it's going to go like here. And then I'm going to add a little bit more tape on there. And that'll just help, that'll just ensure that my panel lays flat. So that's what I'm trying to do, just kind of ensure that my panel will lay pretty flat on there. And I think that's how I want it, right like that. So that's the you know, the first couple of panels we've got for that. And then I've also got, this was a scrap, and it's close to the dimensions that is on the sketch. It's real close, not exact, but it was close enough that I wanted to use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And we'll get it layered up. Now this is, you know, with these, I'm just using some pattern paper from the Make It Merry kit. And then I am using the ephemera from it. And so I'm not having to stamp or dye anything. I'm just using some components of the Make It Merry and then these sketches. And this is all you need. So this is some fairly easy card making. I'm going to go ahead and just keep going with my tape runner. I'll probably run it out before we get finished here. And I'm going to get this laid down. And I'm just going to lay it down here. Kind of get a feel for it. Does that look all right? I think that'll be all right. And then I've got a piece of ephemera, and I thought this was really pretty. It's got the same tone of colors and everything on it, so I'm going to use it. And again, I'm not going to pop it up because I'm trying to fit all of these cards into a box that's relatively small. So I'm going to just lay it flat. I still think it looks very, very pretty, even though I'm not popping anything up. And get that laid down. And then I'm going to bring in a sentiment. The sketch calls for a sentiment here. I originally thought I was going to use this and put it there, but I found this sentiment here that I thought would look nice on there. And I think I'm going to lay that down. Not sure, does that pop enough? I don't think I could get it on this very well with the angle. And I'm just trying to decide if it blends in too much, if I would be better with something else. I do have some other sentiments here that I could use. Let's do this. Let's do It's Christmas Time, and then that'll pop right off of there. I think that'll be nice. And I am going to raise this. Just to have a little bit of dimension, I'm going to raise it up. I think that'll look nice. And hopefully we'll have enough room in our card. I've got some scraps laying up here I'm just grabbing. And I hope you can hear this because I'm realizing right at this moment that I did not hook up my mic. So hopefully my camera is picking up enough of it so that we're getting it, because obviously I'm well into this at this point. So I think I'm just going to go with this. I think I got my tape is a little bit long there, so I'm just snip that off a little bit. And then we'll get this laid down. I think that white pops a lot better off of that than what the other color would have. I've got to trim that again. Let me grab the proper scissors. These are non-stick scissors, and I should be using them. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, I like that white. Let me line this up on here and get this lined up. Okay, so this is card sketch number 2, and it goes with my set of cards. I'm going to pause for a minute, grab my mic so the sound may change a bit, and then we'll move right on to the next sketch we've got going. Okay, so next we're working on card sketch 4, and I've got it here all ready to go. And then again, I've brought in the embossed folder in the white, keeping the theme along the same. And this is Christmas tile, and it's just beautiful. Now, I'm turning it. I think I'm going to swap. Let me look at my... Yes, I'm going to swap it out, and I'm going to go back to that Christmas wrap, because this one, since I'm turning it, it'll work better, and then that Christmas tile will work better on the other design that I have. So just because it would look like my ornaments on that other one were laying on their side, so I don't want to do that. I didn't, I guess, look at the direction of my card when I was selecting that. So just getting this lined up as best I can. All right, I need to trim this up a bit. I've got a little bit of overhang here. Okay, so this one calls for what is pattern paper B, which would be this, and then pattern paper A, which would be this. Okay, so I'm not sure what happened with those pieces of paper that I had made, so I had to do some serious scrapping here. So I've got this piece here that I'm just going to get situated on here, hopefully. Get it laid down on there. Try and line it up fairly straight. Push down. I cut a little bit off the edge here. Got some tape on there, so I'm using my non-stick scissors. Just snip that off. Okay, we've got that. Now, we'll just move along with this piece here, and it will cover up where I've pieced this, so I don't have to worry about that. I do have to worry about getting this laid down nice. That looks pretty good. Okay. So then this would be the pattern A, that yellow pattern that's on there, and we'll just get it laid down on there. I like that. I really do. I think these are just really clean and simple, elegant cards, and I think that's why I like them so well. So I'll just get this positioned on there. See how that looks? That looks, maybe could go over just a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. And then I'll be bringing in my mistletoe kisses, and this is part of the Make It Merry kit, just the sentiments that are in there. And I'm just going to get it laid down. And I've got a hair I got to get out of the way. And then I took some of my metallic gold and I just rounded the edges. I just measured this and gave myself a little edge with it, and then I'm going to lay it down on here and try to get it fairly even. And then it will be my sentiment. It calls for a sentiment right here and maybe some kind of an embellishment there. But I'm going to whoops, not going to do that. Just use it as my layer, that particular layer, and get it laid down in there. And I think that's so cute. I looked for some mistletoe that I thought would work with this, and I didn't find any that I liked. But I did have this Happy Christmas that I thought would look pretty on there. And so I thought we would just lay that on there. Let's see what I've got. I'm just going to add a piece of paper to the back of that, and just to level it up. I think that's what we'll do. Yeah. So we'll just level that up, and then we'll get it laid down on our card base. And that looks nice. It does call for some embellishment there, and I might pull from, I think I've got some little hearts here that I can embellish with. Let me see what I've got. Some of these are hard to pick up. Oh yeah, I've got a couple of gold hearts that I could use if I can get a hold of them. I've got all of my ephemera laying out on a board over here so that I can just see everything that I have. It just makes it real handy. If you saw my craft room tour, the recent one that I did, I actually had that board laying out and I showed it in that video. So I need to pause here for a moment. Okay, I'm back. Both of my daughters were blowing up my phone at the exact same time, and I thought I better figure out what's going on. So they're just chitty-chatty. So for this, we're going to probably want to use our glue, and hopefully I can get these to lay down on here since we've got this embossing. So we'll just try to get one of our gold hearts on here. Lay that down on there. I got a little heavy on the glue, so I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. Try to put another one there. And then I think we'll put one down here as well. And that will finish off our card sketch 4. And you can see this is my card and this is our sketch. I think it came out pretty nice, so I like it. Let's move right on to our next one. And the next sketch that I'm bringing out is 5. And this will finish up our cards. And then we will, I have an extra embossing folder. I think I'm going to go with this one. And then we will make our box, and that'll be fun. Okay, so this sketch, I've got all of my elements here. I just kind of drug them all in at once. This is going to look, got a little bit of glue or tape runner on there. Okay, I need to clean up here. This is going to look somewhat like, actually it's easier if I assemble this before I put it on my base. It just works better if I do it this way. Now, if I had those magnets for my desk, it would make this so much easier because I could just set the magnet on there and get it. All right, that's going to be better, I hope. Yes, it is. Okay, so this is how it's supposed to go. And now I can just arrange them a little bit if I need to get them exactly how I want them. There we go. All right, there we go. Hallelujah, we got them. Okay, so now let's get these laid down on here. Without sticking them to my fingers. Okay. Now we'll just get this layered up. Okay, there we go. That took longer than it should have. And we'll get this tape down. My tape runner is getting a little haywire on me there. Okay. Make sure we got this opened up the right way. And then we'll get this laid down on there. I just think that's beautiful, just gorgeous. And then I've got this piece that I was going to put in the center here. Oops. Put on there straight. Okay, now we can lay this piece down. And we're going to cover up that, so it's going to be a little bit higher than what the midpoint of the card is. Get that laid down on there. That looks good. And then I've got this. This calls for 2 circle layers, but I'm going to use a circle layer, and then I'm going to use a snowflake layer. So we'll just lay this down here in the center of our card. And then again, I'm going to stay away from adding dimension just because of the whole box issue. And we'll get this laid down on there. I think that looks really pretty. And I was going to bring in this joyful sticker to put on there and use these stars. I thought that would look really pretty. So what I need to do is I need to pick out the center of these. And what I'm going to try to do is see if I can just, I don't know if this will work or not. If I can just stick my tape on here and get my stars to pull off right with my joyful and get them all laid down on there the same way that they are on this plastic sheeting. So I'm just going to try and just pull them off. See if they'll stay. There we go. So far, so good. Just keep trying. I just liked how they were laying with that joyful sentiment. Uh-oh, we about lost it. We got it. Okay, there we go. And just to make sure everything stays, I've got glue seeping out there. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on these. And then I'm just going to lay it down on here. And then pull my tape off. And I think that looks really pretty. I like it. I hope you like it too. Now, let's move on to the box. Okay, so we're just going to assemble our box. Now, this box design comes from Gina K Design. She recently did a video in which she showed how to assemble this box. And she has a template that is available on her Facebook, Gina K Facebook page. And when you get on there, you can find her box of cards and click on the link, and there'll be a link to this template that shows you how to assemble this box. So you'll have to go to Gina K's site and get it. This is not mine. I'm not even going to show her paper because it's not mine to show. So basically, she takes an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and she makes her first score at 7.5. And so I've just got my Cricut trimmer scorer here, and I'm going to make my first score at 7.5. And I'm going to go lightly because I found out earlier that this scorer will actually cut the paper. So I'm going to go real lightly on it. So the first one's at 7.5. The next one is at 6 3/4. So we're going to go at 6 3/4 and make another score on there. And again, going lightly so I don't cut it. I was surprised that it actually cut it when I did it earlier. I don't normally use this one. Your next score is at 3/4. Now make sure you go to 3/4 and not 1 3/4 because I did make that mistake once. So go to 3/4 and that'll be your next score line. So just score there. And then once you've got those 3 score lines on the long ways, you're going to flip it and you're going to put a score line at 10.5. So I'm lining up at 10.5. And I'm going to put a score line there. 10 and a half. And then I'm going to go to 9 3/4. So you're going to go to 9 3/4 and put a score line there. And then after 9 3/4, you're going to go to 5 1/4. So I'm going to go to 5 1/4, and I'm going to put a score line there. And this is going to make a box for an A2 size card. And then after 5 1/4, you're going to go to 4 1/2 and put a score line at 4 1/2. And then that's going to be all of your score lines. So we've got our score lines in there. Now we've got to do some cutting. And so I'm going to make sure that I want to get it turned. It needs to be turned this way. And so I've got my double score lines at the bottom here. That's what I've got. And I'm going to cut away this very bottom corner is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to get on my score line. And I'm going to cut away that little corner there. And then while I'm here, I need to cut this. This is going to be a tab. This little score line here. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a score line there. I'm going to cut it away like that. I think that what I should do is I should score these, and then maybe you can see them better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and score these, and I'm going to go like that. And I'm going to bring in my little, not my hair band there, my little score, and I'm going to score these. I think if we do that, we'll be able to see what we're doing better, and it'll just be better for us. So I'm going to go ahead and score this. And I don't like my Cricut score like I do my Score Buddy, but my Score Buddy is not big enough for these scores. So I had to use the Cricut. And so I'm not getting as good of a score line as I would get on my Score Buddy. That's one of the things I don't like about that. So it's making it kind of, there we go. Okay, so I'm getting that scored in. So I think this is going to help us by just scoring on our score lines so that we can see where we're cutting. And I don't remember if Gina did it that way or not on the video. It's been a couple days since I've seen it. But I think this is just going to help us understand our cuts better. Yeah. So score on all of these. I'm realizing how much I love that Score Buddy. Okay, there. Okay, so I did my first cut there, but now you'll be able to see, because these, you're going to cut away. You're going to cut away this, and you're actually going to cut away all of this. So if you get your score line, you're going to cut away all of that. And I need to cut that a little bit straighter because I'm going to need a little room there. So I got that cut away, and then I also need to cut this away right here. Okay. And then I will need to cut a line on this because this is going to be my tab. Okay, so I got that done. And then when I go to the middle here, I'm going to cut clear past 2 score lines like that. And I'm going to cut both of this away. These 2 score lines here, I'll be cutting those away. And I'm going to cut this off, and that'll give me my tab. So hopefully you can see that. Okay, now we've done all of our cutting, and we're ready to assemble our box. One of the things that I think you need to do is you need to take and trim your tabs in. Just kind of, I guess, miter them or whatever you want to call it. Just so that they'll tuck in a little nicer. And just do all of your tabs. I do need to cut this tab here too. I didn't cut it. And so we'll miter these sides. And you can do them however you want. I'm just doing a basic miter. You can make them as fancy as you want or as simple as you want. I'm going very simple on this. Okay, so then you'll just assemble your box and tape it up, just like, let me see, clean this off. You're going to tuck your tabs in, and you'll assemble your box and tape your box up just like this. Actually, this is your lid. So you're going to have your lid overhang, and then this will be the bottom of your box, and you'll just tuck it in. And then it will make a nice, a very nice box for you. So you just tape it up and assemble it, and just use some tape runner, double-sided tape, and just tape it up, and then you'll have a real nice box. And that's how it works. And just go to Gina K's site and on her Facebook page and look it up and see if you can find it, and you've got a template there, and it makes a real nice box that you can put your cards in. Okay, so we're just going to decorate our box just kind of similarly to how we did the inside of with our cards. Okay, I'm going to just take some more of the ephemera and lay it down on there. Just get it laid right down on there. And then I'm going to use this Christmas greetings because this is a box of Christmas greetings. So we'll just get this on there. And then let's see if we can get our cards to fit inside of there. Just open it up. Slide our cards inside. And I'm going to grab some envelopes. And just slide my envelopes inside of there. So I was able to fit my 6 cards and my 6 envelopes in that. Very nice. So I've got a nice little card set that I can give to somebody for Christmas. So, or in advance of Christmas, I guess, so that they'll have them to use. So I think that turned out really nice. And thank you to Gina K for the design for that box. Hope you liked it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.